welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day as usual. Today's video is going to be a little different because I'm going to be talking about the things I do not like about my favorite handbags. That's right, the things I don't like about my favorite handbags. So I have about 9 of my holy grail bags, like the bags that I either reach for all the time or the ones that I'll just never get rid of because they are classic pieces in your collection. And I'm going to be telling you the things that I don't necessarily like about them. Now I know a lot of times in my videos I try to tell you a lot of the positives and why I love bags, but I want to tell you a couple of the negatives. Now of course there aren't a ton of negatives for these bags because otherwise they wouldn't be some of my favorites, but I did think it would be kind of fun to do this type of video because it's a little different. So without further ado, if you guys are new to my channel, make sure to hit that little subscribe button, and if you want to hear things I do not like about my favorite handbags, then keep watching. Okay, so as I stated, I have about 9 handbags that I want to share today. These are my absolute favorites, so I have to really try really hard not to gawk over them and tell you why I love these bags so much, because today I'm going to be telling you things I do not like. Now keep in mind that this is just my opinion, but I thought it might be helpful in the event you guys are on the fence about any of these bags. I want to be truthful with you. I love to tell you what I love, but now I want to tell you some of the things I don't like about them. So the first bag that I want to mention is my holy grail bag, like one of my favorite bags that I just love to look at and I don't think I'll ever get rid of, but this beauty does have some flaws, let me tell you. And the bag I am talking about is my lovely Chanel Classic Flap in the medium in lambskin. So you know how much I love this bag, but let me tell you the things that I don't necessarily like. When you buy lambskin, even though it's classic, it is so delicate. It really is, and I have found that I really have to baby this bag. Now I'm trying not to. I've been trying to wear it a lot more, but I really do have to baby it, and I found that when you do get the lambskin, like the first time I wore it, I already scratched it with my nail. You have to be so careful. I don't know if you're really going to be able to see it on camera because the lambskin does look so beautiful, but I hate the fact that I have to baby this bag. I hate the fact that it's so incredibly delicate with the lambskin. Those are two things I don't like. Another thing, these bags are so expensive. So even though I love this, I am always very like choosy with where I wear it. Like I don't like to wear it certain places because I'm just afraid it's possibly going to get stolen. So those are the things that I would have to say that I do not like about this bag. The lambskin is just so delicate. I have to be so careful with it. I have to baby the bag, and the bag is so incredibly expensive, so then when I do go someplace, I am just really nervous about it potentially getting stolen. And in addition, it might be kind of hard to tell, but the corners of the bags are wearing a little bit. I think if you do choose the lambskin material, that's something that you just have to be okay with. And some people say that if you scratch the bag, you can kind of rub it out with your fingertips. I've tried that. That doesn't really seem to work. So just keep in mind that if you do want this beautiful classic piece, if you get it in a lambskin, you are going to have to baby it a little bit. Well, you don't have to if you don't want to. I'm trying to get better about not babying it, but just keep in mind that there are going to be some signs of wear and tear because of how delicate the leather is. Okay, one of my favorite bags, and again, I don't want to like gush over it. You guys have heard me gush over it enough. The Gucci Soho disco bag. This is a great bag, one of my favorites, but let me tell you a couple of the things that I don't really like and some of the things that do bother me. So over time, it does start to lose its structure. You can see I've had it for quite some time. It starts to slouch a little bit. So just keep that in mind that when you are storing it, even if you put paper in it and try to hold its shape, it's going to kind of over time just lose its structure. And again, it's still a great bag, but losing its structure, that's one thing that kind of bothers me about it. And another thing is, this is just my personal opinion. I don't know if a lot of other people have had this problem, but I find that the interior of the bag gets super dirty. You can see it's almost like that burlap material, and I did not baby this bag at all. I used to wear it all the time. I still wear it too, but you can see it has like a ton of like dirt stains on it. I had a pen that was open on the inside, so that's not the bag's fault, that was my fault. But just keep in mind that the interior of the bag does get dirty. So for this particular bag, I don't like the fact that it loses its structure, and I don't like the fact that the interior of the bag does seem to get a little dirtier than it should because of the material. So other than that, you know how much I love this bag. I know don't need to tell you anymore. If you want to see a comparison video, I did do a comparison between this bag and the Saint Laurent camera bag. I want to mention another Chanel bag. This is the Chanel wallet on a chain. Once again, one of my favorite bags. This is in the caviar leather. So I have worn this bag quite a bit. There are a couple complaints that I have about it. One, you can see I don't have anything in the bag right now, but do you see how the flap kind of puckers up? It doesn't just like stay down. That kind of bothers me, and it happens on both sides. This one has a button snap closure. I would have preferred the magnetic closure. However, when I did buy this from the boutique, they were not offering the magnetic closures. So I find this bag is really, like, I don't have anything in it. It's really, really hard to close. When you have a lot in the bag, it's a little easier to close because it's a little firmer, but that really bothers me. And another thing, and I'm sure if you guys have watched a lot of videos on this, you know that it's true. This zipper right here, okay? This zipper, if you open it, there is that compartment that goes all the way down, which is really neat. But you have to be careful when storing the bag that you keep the zipper in. If you keep it like this, there is going to be an indentation. So keep that in mind. Other than that, the bag is pretty great. I have found that the interior of the bag, the red the burgundy can get a little dirty, but you can just use an organizer for that. So for this particular bag, my complaints are that you can see it flips up like that, and then I do not like the button closure because I feel like it's like you really have to work and make an effort to close it. So I find that when I'm wearing it sometimes, like my bag will just be open like this because I'm like having such a hard time trying to find the button. So for the Chanel wallet on a chain, again, love this bag. Don't have a ton of complaints, but those would be my top complaints for this one. Okay, next bag on the list is my beloved Alma BB. You guys know how much I love this bag. Like, I don't think I can tell you anymore how much I love this bag. So zip it, Amber. No more talk about how much you love this bag. Let me tell you what bothers me about this bag. Not a lot of things, but there are a couple things that bother me. The fact that it does not have an adjustable strap. I hate that. I've told you guys that before. Like, it hits me at a good point. It hits me at a good place. However, why do they make crossbody bags that don't have adjustable straps? That really bothers me because I found that, like, even though it hits me at a good point, there are some days that I might want it a little higher. I might want it a little lower. So that bothers me about the bag. Plus, another thing that bothers me is you have this lock and you can take it off, but I find sometimes when I'm walking, it's like constantly like clinging and clanking, which is not a huge deal, but sometimes it's a little bothersome to me. Other than that, that's really all the complaints I have. I have read that a lot of people think this bag doesn't fit a lot. I completely disagree. I feel this bag is great when it comes to fitting your essentials. I have heard people say that they don't like how they think it's hard to open. I don't think that at all. A lot of times when I'm wearing it, I just kind of keep it like this and I can like easily access my things. Oh my gosh, I'm starting to talk about the positives. Okay, back to the negatives. Doesn't have adjustable strap, and then I hate how this clinks. And in addition, do you see how it kind of, I don't want to say it loses its structure, that's not the right way, but do you see how this kind of goes in a little bit? And sometimes the zipper can be like a little hard to close. Like, it's not like a super soft, easy zipper to open. So love this Alma BB, but if I had to pick complaints about my favorite bags, those would be the complaints. Oh my God, my love, my favorite. Oh, I love this bag. Like, how beautiful is this? Can we just take a minute? Can we just, so beautiful. This is the Saint Laurent envelope bag in the large size. Let me tell you, I just love this. It's so beautiful. But let me tell you why I don't like it, okay? Let me tell you why I don't like it. This bag is currently empty and it is so heavy. So I definitely wouldn't recommend this as an everyday bag. It's heavy when it's empty, and then when I put on my essentials in it, it's like super, super heavy. So, but when you wear it, I just feel like it can get a little uncomfortable because it is so heavy. Plus, for me, I do like to wear my bags crossbody. And this bag, let me show you. Don't mind me, I do have pajama pants on. This bag, when I wear it crossbody, it's just, you can see it's just a little too big. I mean, you definitely can wear it this way if you want, but I just think it's better suited on the shoulder. And for me, I love crossbody bags. So it's just a little like awkward as a crossbody. And this is not a casual bag. Like, I'm big on, if you're going to invest the money in a bag, you should have a bag that you can wear dressy or casual. And again, I guess you could if you want to, but I just think that this bag is super, super dressy. And then the one thing, it can be a little hard to open and close. So you can see I really had to pull to open it, which is good on one hand because then you know your items are secure. But then to close it, you have to like, it has the metal, but it has the metal closure, but you really have to like try to find it. So as much as I love this bag, how heavy it is, the fact that it looks kind of awkward crossbody, and then the fact that it's really only a dressy bag, that is something that really bothers me. But how beautiful, it's so pretty. So pretty though. Okay, the next bag I want to mention is actually a bag that I don't really wear too much. But it's one of those bags that I just absolutely love, and I don't know that I'll ever get rid of it. It's so beautiful. It's something I've always wanted, and I actually purchased this bag on Fashion File. The bag I am referring to is my Lady Dior. You guys, this is just such a stunningly beautiful classic bag. I really, really love this bag, but I do have some complaints. First off, very similar to the Chanel lambskin, this bag is super, super delicate. So same thing, the first time I was using it, I went to put my hand in like this and I scratched, I don't know if you're really going to be able to see, but there are scratches at the top. There are a couple scratches all over. So you just have to be mindful of that. Also, this Dior has started to tarnish, and that could just be because this is a really, really old piece, but that bothers me. The way the handles are, they're really thick, but this once again is a super, super heavy bag. I think it looks great when you carry it this way, but it is heavy. So when you do eventually fill it up, it is super heavy. Plus, another thing I don't like, and I don't know if the newer bags are like this, but look how thin this strap is. I just feel the strap is like super, super flimsy for the size of this bag. So even though I love this Lady Dior, I don't think I'm ever gonna get rid of it. It's just a classic, it's beautiful. I have it sitting in my little beauty space here. Those are some complaints. Again, the heaviness, the strap is too thin, it's very, very delicate. This little Dior charm is tarnishing, and you can also see too that some of the, and it's going to be hard to pick up on camera, some of the seams are coming out, but again, it's just, you have to be so incredibly careful with it. And who wants to carry a really, really heavy bag? So as beautiful as this bag is, those are some of my major complaints. Okay guys, this is one of my favorites. You know, I talk about this bag all the time and I tell you how much I love it. I'm talking about the Pochette Matisse. This bag, oh my god, I love this, but I have to tell you, it definitely does have some negatives. It doesn't have a lot of negatives because you know how much I love it, but I am going to tell you what those are today. The one thing that really bothers me again is the vachetta. So I think I told you guys I had some hand sanitizer on my hands and I had touched the bag, and you're not going to really be able to see, but there are a couple little stains there. The top of the bag, there are watermarks. So I had recommended to you guys that if you do have this bag that you get, I think I said like, what did I say? I said Scotch Guard, but it's supposed to be Apple Guard, and that will protect the vachetta. So if I ever get another bag in the future like that has vachetta on it, I definitely think I'm going to take Shea Whitney's advice. She's the one that said you should use the Apple Guard to protect it a little more, because it just this part bothers me so much. Another thing that bothers me about this bag is how it is to close. So I have found that sometimes, just like some of the other bags I mentioned, this one can be a little hard to close, especially if it's not completely full. If the bag is completely full, it'll stretch out a little more and it's easy to close, but you can see like it's empty now, and I really have to take the time to like find the hole, you know, and even still it's hard to close. So I love this bag, but I think those are two of the things that really bother me. The Pochette handle and then this little part right here, just, I cannot believe just by me putting hand sanitizer on my hands, it completely ruined it. And then when I am carrying it, I hate the fact that it's such a pain in the butt to close. That really, really bothers me. But other than that, this is a great bag. A lot of people tell me that they have glazing issues with the bag. I do not have any glazing issues. I've had this bag for quite some time, but I don't have those issues. Another thing, a little bit, you can see that it kind of indents a little bit. So I would recommend, if you have this, just make sure that you stuff it when you keep it. But other than that, I love this. I have done tons of reviews and comparisons on this bag. I can't say enough good things, but because I'm talking about my favorite bags and I wanted to point out the negatives, those are a couple of the little issues that bother me, but not too big a deal. Okay guys, the next bag I want to mention, which is one of my favorites, and I mentioned earlier that I did a comparison between this bag and the Gucci Soho Disco bag, so make sure to check that out. It's the YSL camera bag. This is one of my favorite bags. It really is. It keeps its structure. It looks beautiful. I've had it for years. Oh my gosh, I'm talking about the positives again. I'm so sorry, but I just have to tell you, I have had it for years. I'm getting to the negatives. So give me a break here. I'm getting to the negatives. It just keeps its structures nice, but there are a couple things that bother me, and they're just like little nuisances, not a big deal, but you can see right there. All right, I always wear this crossbody, right? Do you see this? This bothers me, how it sticks up like that. I am not sure why it does that. I almost feel like I need to get a piece of like double-sided tape to put on my bag to kind of put it down. So that I'm telling you, that is the main thing that bothers me about this bag. Other than that, you guys asked me about like the durability of it. It still looks brand new. Do you see this bag? I have used this to death. So some people do think that this is like, this bag you can only wear dressy, which I do see that because of the YSL logo, but I wear this casual and I wear it dressy as well. So that could be a negative for some people, but for me, the only thing that bothers me about this bag is this little strap right here. I hate the fact that it peels up like that. So again, the only fix I could think is you could put like double-sided tape. So if you guys own this bag and have that same issue, let me know. But other than that, love this bag. Okay guys, the final bag that I want to mention is actually a newer purchase. However, I've been using it quite a bit, so I feel like I have started to notice some of the, I guess, flaws you could say. And I'm talking about the Locky BB. I'm gonna be honest, there are not really like a lot of flaws in my opinion, because I do really like this, but if I did, and I can fit a lot, I do like the fact that it has the adjustable strap. I think sometimes this lock, it can tend to be like a little heavy when closing it. That kind of bothers me. I feel like this big lock does get a lot of fingerprints on it, so be mindful of that. However, I have not gotten any scratches on it and I use it to death, but it does get fingerprints on it all the time. That kind of bothers me. Another thing that you have to be mindful of is do you see the top? Yeah, you can see it there. The indentation of the bag, that bothers me as well. And that is actually from this handle right here that comes down. You can see that. And I wish the fact that this handle would just stay permanently up, but it comes down. So I've been loving this bag. It is small. It can fit all of my essentials. I have it stuffed right now. I don't like the fact that this handle comes down because it causes the indentation. I get fingerprints on the big lock, and then even though I can fit my essentials, do you see how this bag comes in? Whereas that is kind of cute, I kind of wish that it didn't do that. So then that way, you know, it would have like a little more space. And then I do wish the bag had feet. So those are kind of my complaints, but you can see they're minor. They're not really a big deal, but for the most part, I've been loving this. And you can see I do have this bag stuffed to the brim. I did do a recent What's in My Locky BB. If you want to check that out, I'll be sure to link it down below. But for the most part, I've been loving it, but those are just my minor complaints. Okay guys, so there you have it. Those are some of the things I don't like about my favorite designer bags. As you can see, they're just minor complaints. They're not a big deal, and I only had a couple little complaints for each bag, but I thought it would be fun to put those out there. So now I want to hear from you guys. If you own any of these bags, what are some of your complaints about them? I mean, these are some of my favorite bags in my collection. Like I said, they don't really have a lot of complaints. Usually I tell you guys everything I love about the bag, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to tell you some of the negatives, but as you can see, there aren't really a ton. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are new to my channel, make sure to hit that little subscribe button, and I'd love to have you join me over on Instagram as well. I hope you guys are doing well and having a fabulous day, and I will see you in my next video.
Wish me the best of luck. I'm gonna